What's up, everybody? Welcome back to After the Snap. I'm your host, Tasha Pierce, and this right here is a special show. We are going to be talking about my top 2021 movies and series of the year. Did that make sense? My top series and movies of the year. We also we're gonna bottom feed a little bit too, because we're gonna talk about the ones that wasn't so good. It's crazy though. You're gonna notice a lot of the movies that I feel like were the best of the year are probably some of the last ones I've seen. And I don't know if that's because it's still fresh on my mind, the feeling that I got watching these movies, or if they really just saved the best for last this year. And I think that might possibly be it. They may have saved the best for last. What it do, Lysandra? Angus Osano, was that Karen in the thumbnail? Oh yeah, she there. Now where we put her, where we put her, Angus, is a whole different question. Hey there, Mr. Brown. I enjoyed y'all episode last. Well, I listened to it like at 3, 4 this morning. I enjoyed your episode though. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, this is different. Because we're not just going to talk about one movie or one series or whatever. We're going to talk about a whole slew of them. And maybe some of these movies you agree with me, and maybe it's just me being on my Tasha BS. But I can only tell you, how I see it. Oh gosh. So I'm wondering, does everybody have these big New Year plans? Because I I don't have any plans. I'm gonna be here. It's probably hiding under a table or something when they start all the doggone fireworks, because that's what they do. Scare the crap out of me with fireworks and stuff, and I'd be wondering, okay, was that a firework or a gunshot? Was that a firework or a gunshot? And I guess people shoot guns off too in for New Year's. Who knew? I just got over fireworks with Christmas, and here we come again with another set just to get on my nerves. So, it's at my 2021 faves with a question mark. So these could be my faves, and maybe not. Let's see. I'm not gonna even waste no time. With no further ado, let's get into number 10 on my list. What y'all, as according to what we have seen this year, and some of the movies that I saw, you guys may not have seen, and I may not have seen some of the ones that you watched. But this is a weird number 10 for me, because it's a genre that I am not typically drawn to. I'm a little, I'm a punk. I'm a punk. Well, I guess we have to give give uh give credit where credit is due. And this movie here, thank you, Angus Osano, for bringing this movie to my attention. This was Blood Red Sky. That is my number 10 movie of the year of 2021. Um, I really enjoyed it. It was a different kind of horror movie. It wasn't cookie cutter. It wasn't the type that was just all chills. Oh, Cass, you're here. And yeah, I really did. This was a movie that was referred to me by Angus Osano, and we were doing movies for Halloween. So I said, why the hell not? Man, this movie was fantastic to me. So one of the things that I wrote in my review was, you're in the mood for a horror movie that has an engaging plot, thrills, and an astronomical kill count. Look no further than Blood Red Sky. I think that it gave us everything that I just mentioned and so much more. Angus, I am agreeing with you. The script of this movie was very, very smart. Um, did not dumb things down for us, trying to make us understand. They made us understand by showing more than telling. I love this movie. Oh, Lysandra, you liked it too. I am so glad that I got a bunch of people in here who actually took this one in, because a lot of times horror movies, meh. Like, I've seen a couple of other horror movies this year. They don't make this list. So for this to be on the list is telling for me. Moving on to number 9. Dang, I forgot what number 9 is. We're going to find out together. So number 9 was the Tomorrow War. And then, okay, this one was divisive. The critics truly panned this movie. They hated it. And they tried to talk everybody out of watching it. And that was one of the things that said, Tasha, watch this movie. Give the movie a chance. Because like I said in my review, while it's not going to win any Oscars, this movie wasn't that bad. Decent actions, monsters that were monstrous, nods to other sci-fi movies, and all of that made this worth a watch. Thank you, Cass. So yeah, this movie was worth it to me. It was almost worth it. I mean, it was some stupid parts, of course. It was just a I guess run of the mill action, kind of apocalyptic action movie, and I enjoyed it. So if you watch the Tomorrow War, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were on this movie, because I didn't think it was bad. I think Chris Pratt did a pretty decent job of leading the movie. I think J.K. Simmons as his father was just like, first of all, it was believable, not in the way the way they look, but the way that they brought their characters to life. And then to see J.K. Simmons all jacked up the way he was, man, I enjoyed this movie, really and truly did. And the way it ended, I think it kind of left the door open. There probably will be a Tomorrow War Part 2, because people gravitated towards it on streaming. I don't know if they'll ever be able to put it in theaters like they planned with this one. They plan to have it in theaters. I don't know if they'll be able to put the sequel in theaters, because now we got the feel of it as a made for streaming movie. But whatever they do, if they come up with a sequel or not, as long as it looks, as I guess the word we're going to say again is smart, as long as it looks like it's smartly done, then I am here for it. Cass says, I like Pratt. I love Simmons. It was just plain fun. And that's the way I felt. It was enough to chew on. The special effects were pretty good. The action was rather over the top in places, but I mean, that's what you want an action movie to be, right? So yeah, I think this movie was misunderstood by a lot of the critics. And here's our first stripper for the night. I don't know if you guys see that. Oh gosh. Our first stripper for the night came on and wanted to take my little audience. All right. Moving on to number 8. Being the Ricardos. Of course, I have sung the praises of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz when I was talking about this on More Than a Movie. But man, this is another one with J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons is a theme this year. Being the Ricardos was a fantastic peek behind the curtains of what life might have been like in that era with these superstars. This, what I call one of Hollywood's most powerful couples. This is as close to me being on set of I Love Lucy as I'm gonna get. I truly, really, truly enjoyed being the Ricardos, and I think it was one of the best movies of the year. And for all the reasons that I said in my More Than a Movie episode, and probably more, what I like the most, again, is what I learned about Desi Arnaz. I liked all the performances, but learning what I learned about Desi Arnaz, this is what these types of picks are for to me, is to show you a lot of what you did know, but then it hit you with this, but I bet you didn't know this. And this, Desi Arnaz was the I bet you didn't know this moment for me. I didn't know that the man was a flipping genius, but here we are. So let me know if anybody else checked out Being the Ricardos. I believe Clarence did. But if anybody else, let me know what your thoughts were on this movie. Boy, we are at number 8 already. I need to slow down. I'm moving at breakneck speed here. I don't know, Jimmy Lark, or is that Davina? Is that Davina or her husband? I mean, is this really Davina's husband, or is it Davina masquerading as her husband? My next, number 7, The Power of the Dog. Now, if you don't know, I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know how often I've said that on this show. Yeah, Clarence liked it. Clarence liked being the Ricardos. And hiya, Jimmy. That's really D. That's really Davina. She's masquerading as her husband. The Power of the Dog took me by surprise. Now, first of all, again, Benedict Cumberbatch. Hello. I love him. I think he's just one of the most stunningly gorgeous men in Hollywood right now. So that right there, first and foremost, I'm gonna watch it. I got to see far more Benedict than I ever thought I would be able to see when he was bathing in like a lake or a stream, and Benedict Cumberbatch was naked, y'all. He was naked. So you already know that already gave it 5 stars. But yeah, thank heavens for that lake scene. Yes. And we got like an extended an extended view of Mr. Cumberbatch in all his glory when he chased you know what, Clarence, you are correct. You're 100% correct. So going back, um I'm gonna go back and tell you where I watched each one of these movies, if I can. Blood Red Sky was Netflix. That was a Netflix film. And let's see. The Tomorrow War was Amazon Prime. Being the Ricardo was Amazon Prime. Oh, are we noticing a theme here? And now we're up to date, but this one here was a Netflix film. So The Power of the Dog. Um, let me see. You said Angus asked what movie is this movie? This is The Power of the Dog. It is again starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, Kirsten Dunst, Cody Smith McPhee. Who, boy, the performance that young man put on in his character, and I can't remember character names right now, but let me tell you, this movie, it's a slow movie. It's more of a thinker. It's not a lot of action going on. But like I said when I initially reviewed this movie, if you are paying attention and if you're going to watch it, you must pay attention even when things seem very slow, because everything means something in this movie. Every little thing that you think uh could have not tied in no other way. It was just like, why are they showing this? It all comes back to be very important to the plot. This had so many twists and turns. There was one twist that as I was watching, I'm like, I really hope this is not the only twist in this movie. But that second twist, or what I'm considering the big twist, nothing could have prepared me for that. Nothing. Yeah. And yes, of course, uh I love Benedict Cumberbatch. That's it. That's all. I love him. I'm not gonna never not gonna never turn my back on Benedict Cumberbatch. And anything he's in, I'm willing to give it a try. Oh, Davina also liked Blood Red Sky. That was a good movie. Yeah, it actually a horror movie made my top 10. I don't know what this is all about. We're gonna block that user. Um, and Davina also says she's gonna watch the Ricardos tonight. I think you might like it. Let me know how you enjoyed that movie because I thought it was well done. And again, it gave me it gave me a little more information about a couple that everybody thinks they knew, but in actuality, we know the characters that they were playing. We never knew these people. So let me know how you feel about that. Cass said, I appreciated the ending more than I did the rest of the movie. Yes, but after watching it, I started to realize the rest of the movie, it was just all service for this big ending. I did enjoy the ending of the movie and the big twist and how things ended up playing out for Phil Burbank and them. Because I'm gonna remember his character. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch was naked, so that's enough to have it on the list for me. And he was smoking cigarettes. Gosh, it's a whole different side of Benedict. All right, we are moving along. At number 6, I got Dune. Now, I know a lot of people will put this in their top 5, but I told y'all the problems I had with Dune. And the only problem I had, the big problem I had with Dune is now I got to wait until they finish this second movie for me to know exactly what happened. It felt like an incomplete movie. And one of the examples that I like to use about incomplete movies is Avengers Endgame. But you got the first part, the setup of this movie in Infinity War. Infinity War to me was a complete movie. It had a definite beginning, a definite middle, a definite end. We had a winner, we had a loser. What we come into with Endgame was we came in after they had already lost. Now we're dealing with the loss. Dune is set up like that, but backwards. We got everything up to a point, and then we drop off, and now I'm like, damn. Now I gotta wait. I don't know the story. I don't want to know the story. I am intentionally not knowing the story because I'm waiting for Denis Villeneuve's the second part of his vision. So Dune was still a beautiful piece of cinema. So getting that out of the way, just like it says on my review, I truly enjoyed taking in the splendor of that thing. When you talk about somebody who made a world feel rich and alive, real, Denis Villeneuve outdid himself with Dune. It was such a beautiful, beautiful movie, beautiful to look at, and it was a wonderful watch. Didn't make me tired, didn't make me sleepy. I was sitting in the movies for quite a little while, so um, this thing was good to me, and I am so looking forward to the second part of this movie. And I hope Warner Brothers don't f him up. Give him what he needs. Um, give him what he needs to give us a good ending for this movie, unless they're going to make a trilogy, which I heard that was probably uh that was probably one of the things that they're talking about or thinking about. um D said, I'm hoping that her fashion is on point. um my mom schooled me on Lucy and Ricky back in the day. And she also said, that smile is so bright when you talk about that man. It's only one man um who can make my smile even brighter, I'll let you guys guess who that one is. uh Now I don't know. You said you watched the old was good. I don't know. Cass said it felt like an incomplete movie. That is a perfect description. And I mean, I don't know how many people would agree with us, Cass, but that's the way it felt to me. And Angus said, I recently explained to a friend that the story of Dune isn't complete until vengeance is delivered upon the Harkonnens and the Emperor. And I get that. But where we stopped off in that movie, in Dune, where we stopped off, it could have been at least a little bit more setup to what we're walking into. It's almost like Villeneuve said to himself, well, if you're watching this, you probably know the story of Dune. I do not. So now I'm left off at a point where we just riding off on some camels or whatever into the sunset. He said, and the very best ornithopters ever. Yeah, I had never, of course, but it did look good. The one with the one blade or whatever it's got going on with that helicopter. Oh, and Lysandra said she watched the old Dune. And Angus is telling me that knowing what he knows about part 2 in the book, it really was the most logical breaking off point. So we gonna see. Hopefully I'm around in 2023 or whenever when this movie comes out. Because I really do want to know how it is. Clarence. He said the real question is how much does Zendaya get paid to walk around in slow motion? Man, I wish I could have got that job. That's a job that I wish I could have gotten. Of course, I couldn't have done it in as stunning a fashion as Zendaya, but she did a whole lot of nothing in this first movie. My understanding is that the second movie will center on her character a little bit more. At least that's what the rumor is. So we can only hope. We can only hope. Oh gosh. Angus said, if they make it a trilogy, part 2 is going to be a boring movie. God, don't tell me that. Well, hopefully they'll wrap it up in those 2 parts and not go the trilogy route. Even though, knowing Warner, is no telling. But yeah, if you listen to the rumors, Zendaya is going to play a bigger part in the second movie. But of course, those are just rumors. We don't know. But this right here is my number 6 movie. I'm going to stop for a second because I went through 6 movies rather quickly. Dune was playing in theaters, and it also played simultaneously on HBO Max. Shame on Warner Brothers. Shame on them. But at least the movie, I don't know if it's profitable yet, but at least I think at this point it might have broken even at the absolute least with your marketing budget and the amount of money that it took to make the movie. I think they may have broken even. So anything else is probably icing on the cake. Hopefully it gets there. Hopefully we get to a point where this thing breaks even. And then Angus also is informing us that Zendaya has big things to do in part 2. I am so happy to hear it because, yeah, she is a beautiful actress, but she's even better when you give her shit to do. I mean, shoot, give her something to do besides walking around being cute. Because the way I'm understanding, some of the movies that she came out with this year that came out with her in it, I didn't watch. What was the one, Malcolm and Marie or something like that. I didn't watch that movie. And I might give it an opportunity, going into next year, I might watch it. And it might be one of my something that I slept on. I should have watched. Then my son is like, how I tell you guys, I always say to my son, just watch one episode And if you don't like it, we don't have to watch anymore. Well, he hit me with that the other day about Euphoria. He said, just watch one episode. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it anymore. So he came to me with that challenge. I'm going to watch an episode of Euphoria, and I think me and him will probably have a whole new show for date night because he does not want to do the Boba Fett thing. Reinhardt is seconding what Angus said. Zendaya will have a bigger role because she has to because of the book. And how you doing, sir? Welcome, Reinhardt. Clarence says, so are the floodgates open on going to the theaters, or do you think we'll see a regression? I talked about it a little bit yesterday, where as much stuff is getting shut down. Now, of course, we live in the wild, wild west. So out here is almost anything goes in Texas. But the rest of the world is slowing down. And I'm a little bit afraid of what that means for the theaters. I'm not going to be able, I guess it's not just me, you and I and all the rest of us who are interested in this, in whether we're going to see a slowdown, we're not going to be able to tell until the next big movie comes out. And the biggest thing coming out is not until Batman, but we do have Scream and we do have Morbius. I wasn't expecting either one of them to get huge a huge box office, but that will probably be how we can tell whether people are starting to, pull themselves back and go back in the house like I am, because I think, there's a fear. And of course, I've got some phobias, so there's something wrong with me. But I guess just a regular informed person who is watching the news and seeing the way Omicron has taken off, knowing that we only have a few more letters in the Greek alphabet, it's a scary time. We saw how it kind of ravaged the NBA, the NFL, the NHL. We are getting a microcosmic picture of how being close together like that is just feeding the frenzy of this virus. I believe my sister and her family just had it the other day. My sister didn't get tested, but the symptoms that she gave to me sounds absolutely like COVID. It was a mild case because everybody in that family is vaccinated, but nobody wants to be sick. Especially, I don't want to be sick. Reinhardt said, "Euphoria is the ish." Yeah, I heard. I'm gonna have to take my son up on his word. Reinhardt said, hello to all. I can't tell you about the state of movies. You have to see it for yourself. Sorry, watching The Matrix right now, channeling my best Morpheus. I hope you're watching the original Matrix and not that shit they pulled off talking about it's the Matrix. We'll talk about that a little later. Spoilers. Cass said that I'm going to the theater for Scream. And if things have slowed down and if things are quiet, and I'll be there too. I have very fond memories of seeing the first maybe 2 or 3 in theaters, and after that it was kind of like 4 didn't interest me. And Angus is greeting Reinhardt there. So yeah, but the state of movies is, we're in a scary place. We were in like the best place ever when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and then how quickly things changed in just like that, 2 weeks? Reinhardt said, hey, I like it. Never been afraid to go against the grain. I don't like everything about it, but I like it. But I'm glad, because out of everybody that I know or that I've spoken to about this movie, I was hoping somebody would come up with something positive, because it just didn't hit for me. Just wasn't a good movie. Uh, D said, "I'm only going to the theater if there aren't a lot of people in attendance." And to me, okay, that's one thing. Yeah, you can go at an early time. And depending on what the movie is, if it's an event movie, I want that energy. I want to feel the energy of the other people. So when I went to go see Spider-Man No Way Home, that theater was electric. It fed into the atmosphere, fed into the energy of the movie. And that felt great until I got home and got to thinking about, damn, I was sitting in a fucking petri dish for 3 hours. Oh gosh, shower time, that kind of thing. But yeah, I understand that uh there are some movies that you want to take a chance for, and there are some movies that just don't feel like it's worth it. Yeah, I've seen that the pandemic is worse than they are telling us. The CDC is tripping. I talked about that yesterday as well. Um, Reinhardt said, "Little side note, Tasha. I know we're having a movie discussion. Some prayer for my stepdad Rudolph because it is cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And it has anest that word. And they're sending him to Winston-Salem State University. With prayers for your stepdad Rudolph because cancer is insidious. I hate it. If I can hate an illness, I hate cancer. I really, really don't like COVID, really dislike it, but I hate cancer. So I'm sorry to hear that. And we will keep your stepdad in our prayers. Oh, yeah, DC, I don't need anyone's energy that has not been vaxxed. We love and hug on all of our non-vax children. Yes, we do. Because I can't convince my son to get the vaccination, but I love him and I won't let a day pass by that I don't get some of his energy. Yes. Okay. That was just a follow up on the previous. Metastasize. He put anesthetize, and I still don't know if I'm saying that word. Anesthetized. Metastasize. Yeah. Lassandra's praying for Reinhardt as well. Yeah, sorry, metastasize, of course. She said she gonna air hug her babies. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I need all the funk. I need everything right out the gym hugs I want from my baby. All right, let's move on to number 5. Number 5 on my list of the top 10 movies uh, of this past year. Last Night in Soho. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I did not know that I was going to love this movie as much as I did. However, even watching the trailers, I felt like this looked like it's right up my alley. Now, this is another horror film, but this one is more of a psychological horror. It's kind of it's more of a yeah, psychological horror. It could have been anticipated to be a thriller if so many different things didn't start to happen in this movie. Um, let me see. Last Night in Soho came out at the theaters only. I don't know if it's been released just yet for streaming or on what streaming platform it will be released on. This movie was fantastic. That Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomasine McKenzie, who this is her second appearance as well, because she was also in The Power of the Dog, albeit very briefly. Thomasine McKenzie was in that movie as well. This will tell you what kind of star power was in The Power of the Dog. But Last Night in Soho was like, I'm just going to read what I wrote on Rotten Tomatoes. Last Night in Soho took me on a trippy ride from present day to the rollicking 60s and back again. The performances were strong across the board. The psychedelic and neon elements in the cinematography definitely set a tone, and the twists in the plot were unexpected. please, please do yourself a favor and watch this movie. If it comes to streaming, watch this movie. And I don't know, not accounting for taste, because I know that there are some movies that everybody in my chat loved, and I was like, and vice versa. This one, I really hope that you guys appreciate it and like it as much as I did. This movie was fantastic. Again, Anya Taylor-Joy just taking the world by storm with the biggest, prettiest eyes in the whole business. And Matt Smith made me truly hate him in this movie. And how can I hate Matt Smith? It's one of my favorite doctors. One of my favorite doctors. And here I was, and this movie was like, you're not Doctor Who. He definitely was not Doctor Who in this movie. But I think you guys will like it if you give it an opportunity. Reinhardt said that he is going to he still got to watch that movie. Dee says she has to watch it too. I hope you find it on whatever streaming it's on. Cass said this was also in my top 5 until I saw one movie that I believe you have coming up. Well, we're gonna see if we're on the same page, Cass. This one definitely, gosh, if I hadn't seen a couple of movies, this one would be higher. This one would definitely be higher. Moving on. King Richard. Now, y'all know that there was some real stuff that came out about not King Richard, but about the actual Richard Williams, not King Richard in this movie. Some actual stuff that when you start digging and you put a movie like this out, a lot of stuff is going to start coming out. While there was a whole lot about the real man that I don't like, this movie shone a light on a character in this one, King Richard, the Will Smith character. This movie showed a light on how he formulated a dream, and with the help of the entire family, them all coming together as a unit, that how they were able to make that dream come true. Now, while there are things, again, that this man did in reality that I don't like, I'm only talking about the movie. Will Smith took on an entirely different affect. Did not lean heavily into his good looks. Leaned far more into just the acting. His own charisma, we could set that aside. His own just being a good-looking man, we could set that aside. We had to focus on the acting in this movie, and I think he did an outstanding job. So while there's always more to the real story than what is depicted on the screen, this movie is still a wonderful look at a family who comes together and claws their way into our hearts and our homes. Because, gosh, it's been a long time of such as hearing about Venus and Serena, that it's going to be strange when we don't hear about them. When their careers are finally over and we stop hearing about their exploits on the tennis court, it's going to be strange to not hear about them. Of course, they also pulled a few people up behind them that got next. So it's to me, each one teach one. And when you kick a door down, you hold it open long enough, as Zendaya said, you hold it open long enough for other people to come in too. And I cannot wait to see what's in the future for tennis. But as far as this movie, it was fantastic to me. Reinhardt said, after you're done with the countdown, I'm going to give you an update on movies. I'm at the theater and I'm going to tell you about some stuff I've seen. Okay. Let me see. Oh, here we got Clarence. Clarence said this movie has some great performances, especially from the child actors. Will was great too. And I keep saying Anjanou Ellis, or as Oracine, I think her performance is probably one of the more overlooked in this movie. She played that role because, especially, and I know I do this a lot talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses, but especially as a woman who was a Jehovah's Witness, the way that the expectations of a woman in a Jehovah's Witness household, or a household that is uh their religion is Jehovah's Witnesses, they do. She played that role. She's played the submissive pretty well until she wasn't. She, it gets to a point where you just got to get tired of somebody uh starting shit and putting it down, starting shit and putting it down, and then you got to run up behind them all the time picking up. So I understood where she was coming from. It did make a whole lot of sense from the standpoint of her of her subdued energy, because she had to submit to her husband. It was so many things that are just nuances of Anjanou Ellis's performance that was just, if you didn't know that was what you were looking for, then it wouldn't matter. But in this situation, she put on a performance for the people who would know what they were looking for, and I liked it. Kaz said, I'm on the outs with Will Smith movies as of late, but I guess I got to give this a shot. I hope you do. And if you do, please tell me what you thought about it, whether you agree or not. It's always good to hear the other side of the conversation. Reinhardt said, King Richard was a great movie. Now, as we've established, it is a movie, not total reality, but I've never seen a biopic yet that was total reality. But like you said, based on the performances, loved it. Yeah. And there ain't no such thing unless you are documenting, like and this wasn't a biopic, it was a documentary. Like the documentary for DMX a few weeks ago I did on More Than a Movie. They actually were following that man around with a camera for the last year of his life. So what you got was what was really happening. And like I said, in that situation, the director told the story that was there. He didn't try to tell a story because it would make us as fans feel really good. No. Only thing you can do was tell the story that was there, because everything was truly documented. King Richard is like, this is our best guess at what happened based upon what the family is telling us and what we have news reports for and that sort of thing. So King Richard biopic, DMX documentary, two different things. Um Number 3, y'all knew it was coming. The harder they fall. And like D said, it was a big old smile when I talk about Benedict Cumberbatch, but the smile gets just a little bit bigger when I'm talking about Jonathan Majors. Y'all know I got a little fetish. Oh, you said that's what knocked Soho out of your top 5, Cass? Well, shoot. This one was even a little higher for me. Only because, number 1, Jonathan Majors. Hello. Number 2, man, the ensemble. The ensemble was sick. Just this group of actors. How could you have thrown these people together and be like, okay, now make some shit happen? They just made some stuff happen. The soundtrack, perfection. Jay-Z hit the song that, and I can't remember the names of these songs. The one with Lauryn Hill, perfection to me. Perfection. The harder they fall pretty much introduced a new audience to the marvel of the old school Western. It's not a big budget flick, so the characters are larger than life. I enjoyed the performances from Jonathan Majors, Lakeith Stanfield, Danielle Deadweiler as Kofi. The soundtrack is an ode to lovers of hip hop, and the cast is a celebration of Black excellence. They did their things. They did their things. I honestly meant to, but spoiler alert again, I've been having trouble sleeping again, so I've been up like for crazy hours, and I was supposed to be uh putting how many stars I had rated these things on here, but I forgot, so I don't remember. I don't remember what how many stars I rated it, but I'm telling you, this was so near perfection to me. I wouldn't be surprised if I gave it a 5. But this right here, excellent movie, excellent performances. Regina King, we take your hats off to Regina. um, if there was something else I was going to say about this movie besides Jonathan Majors, Jonathan Majors, Jonathan Majors. And look, like it's Jonathan Majors. Each time I see him in every different movie, it's a whole different flavor of Jonathan. An entirely different flavor. And there are some actors that no matter what role they're playing, you can still see them. Jonathan, it's like I see the character first, and then I had to go back in my mind and be like, "That's Jonathan flipping Majors." Love that man. Lysandra said, love that movie. I think I think D was just piggybacking that this was a great movie. Reinhardt says The Harder They Fall got mixed reviews from a lot of people. One reviewer on YouTube said it was akin to black exploitation. I myself liked the movie a lot. Didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. You know, black exploitation is an over the top rendition of black people and the stereotypes surrounding them. Stereotypically, we don't see black people as cowboys, even though we were completely instrumental in the origins of the old Western or the Wild Wild West. We were the original cowboys because a cowboy at a certain point in history was something that you didn't want to be. That's why they called them boys, because they were the black people out there doing work that they were made to do. So to say a black exploitation film, first of all, and you're talking to a black woman, and I know I know you're black too. You're talking to a black woman. The only thing that was exploitive about this movie is the fact that we have now put the spotlight, shine this light on the fact that we were there too. We've been exploited as far as black people in westerns. We've been exploited. So don't even repeat shit like that over here. I love you. But a black exploitation film is all of, to me, now you got me going there. I'm on a monologue now. Black exploitation is every single one of the shows that show us doing nothing but selling drugs or beating on kids or being drug addicts. That's black exploitation. That's 21st century black exploitation. When you show people doing things that are outside of the norm, outside of what you normally see black people doing on TV, movies, that there's nothing exploitive about that. Uh, and I do know that it was a divided. This was a divided kind of movie where so many people didn't like it. The people who were supposed to like it got it. Again, I watched John Campea, and John Campea was talking about how horrible this movie was, and I'm thinking to myself, what movie did he see? So again, I can get all worked up, but black exploitation, that ain't this. That's not this. um Reinhardt also said there's not a single person that movie There's not a single person in that movie I didn't love as far as acting. Jonathan Majors is the next upcoming superstar. Jonathan Majors is already a superstar. uh Cass said Stanfield and Elba are both big favorites, but Majors is creeping up big time. Yes, it's again, it's like who next? It's like, and I don't know how many people watch that one when Chadwick Boseman was given a speech about Denzel Washington. The amount of help that Denzel Washington does for serious upcoming black actors and actresses, and he he was basically given Denzel his flowers while he was here. But again, he was saying you got to reach back and grab somebody. If you once you're up there, reach back, grab somebody, and bring them up with you. And that is what we're seeing in Black Hollywood right now. And I love to see it because for people who they say just can't get it together, black on black crime, we are looking out for each other in the arenas that we have. Lakeith Stanfield has gone from being that guy from Atlanta to now being one of the top names when you're looking for atypical black character. So yeah, Zazie Beetz, yes, absolutely fantastic. And I know there was a lot of controversy around her casting look. This was not a biopic. This was not a movie saying we're going to make a movie about the life of and I forgot the name of the character she was playing. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that character. But yeah, but they were upset about the complexion. There were what was a very vocal group who were upset about the complexion of this character, and I'm like, shoot, everybody need to eat. Yes, Regina King is making a movie about Shirley Chisholm. You know what I'm trying to say. Certain words, but I just can't make my mouth do. uh, Cass said, "This is not my pick for best movie of the year, but if I had to recommend one movie for everybody to watch, it would be this one." And I get it because there are movies again. Last Night in Soho is not my number one movie, but I really want everybody to watch it. I really want you to not just watch it, to wrap your mind around that thing. Oh, Claire said Zazie BT loved her. Yeah, she was good in this, with the limited amount that they gave her to do in this movie. Did anyone else notice the name on the train in the Harder They Fall? Yeah, he was talking about the Chadwick Boseman, the tribute to Chadwick. Cass said, "Wow, I had zero idea this movie got mixed reviews. That disappoints me because it is that good." I don't know what some of the people expected or what they saw. This wasn't a big budget movie, and you can see some of the flaws as far as the setting was concerned. There were a few flaws, but when you look at the movie, sit back. Any Western, especially Westerns, are we really looking for the buildings? Oh, the buildings got to be this way and this got to be that. Or are we looking at those performances? Are we looking at what is driving these characters? I think that's what we looked at. I think that's what we were looking at in movies. I didn't, especially a lower budget, not a low budget, but a lower budget. uh Reiner said, I want him saying about this movie is it had hurdles to overcome. That's why I'm giving you the example of the YouTuber, comparing it to that, because had it been another Western, it would not have had it. It would have just been judged on its merits as a movie, but you have a movie with a bunch of black people in it. Now, all of a sudden, it has to be critiqued in a different light. That's what I'm saying. As I said to you before, I don't know if you remember, I would love to see them do a sequel to it because Regina King's character is still out there running around somewhere. Yeah, and that's what we were coming to. Like, this is something Uh, I guess now they've got their feel. We will support a western, and Regina King is out there. Or her character. What was her name? Gosh, I can't remember nobody's name, and it was all based on real people. Well, they used real people's names. Um, Gosh, oh, you said once upon a time you was not a Regina King fan. Now I can't wait to see what she does next. Oh my goodness, I think I have always loved Regina King, going all the way back. Some people will say going back to that What's Happening Now. I ain't going back that far, but I mean, even though I did like her in that, that's not a standout to me. She stood out to me in 227. So all the way from that series in 227 all the way up to now, I have watched with great interest Regina King growing into a better and better actress and now director. She's wearing so many hats in Hollywood. How can you not be proud of that woman? So yeah, she is one. I'm glad that you are starting to appreciate at least the things that she is in more, and hopefully she gives you in the future, she gives you more to look forward to as far as her performances and whatever she does behind the camera, whatever. Clara says she won me over forever on Watchmen. She was fantastic on that. I don't think I watched the entire series, but the first, I want to say the first 3 to 4 episodes I enjoyed. I don't know why I didn't go back to it, but you just made me think about it, Clarence, and I'm gonna finish that series. I might even finish it this weekend because, like I said, I'm not going. I'm supposed to have a date tomorrow. Whole different thing. Y'all know I can't leave the house. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But outside of that, I got the whole weekend. I could probably catch up. Lysandra says she loves her in the Boondocks because it showed you how talented she was, multi-talented, because she is voicing now let me she voicing Riley. She voicing both of those kids. Cass said, yes, please finish Watchmen. I'm going to, I promise you. Probably this weekend, because again, I'm not doing no holiday stuff, no New Year's for sure. New Year's is too crowded of a holiday. Reinhardt said, Clarence, a lot of people weren't ready for Watchmen. I can truly say they didn't get it. A lot of us did though, and I'm heartbroken. We're not going to get season 2. Yeah, that's becoming we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's becoming an ongoing theme. It's like no season 2. What was the point? So yeah. Um, so let's go to number 2 on my list. At this point, I think y'all can guess what number 2 is on this list. I'm gonna just somebody try to guess, because it's really not that hard when you really think about it. Somebody give me a guess while I sip some water because my throat, I am parched. Yeah, Lysandra, you are correct. Number 2 on my list is Lysandra's favorite movie, Shang-Chi. Oh gosh. Girl, you ain't watched that movie no 8 times in one day. Oh gosh. I refuse. I refuse to accept. Oh gosh. And Cass said my top 2 movies are too weird to try and guess someone else's. My top 2 is gonna be really easy. It's some ones that's at the bottom, because we're gonna bottom dwell for a second too after we get through with this. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. Man, that thing was beautiful. Let somebody tell me that they didn't like Shang-Chi. Girl, you know Bun ain't watched that damn movie no 8 times in one day, because when you multiply the two plus hours times 8, that's already 17 hours in the day. You know I'm very literal. When you tell me you did something literally, I'm like, no. 8 times, no. You might have been able to get 6 in that thing. Oh gosh, you might have been able to get 6 viewings before you had to go to sleep in the bathroom or some shit. So no. But I believe in that first weekend, she probably watched it 10 times. The first weekend that it was out. Yes. But that's how good the movie was. Um, oh, by the way, The Harder They Fall is that the last movie we talked about? The Harder They Fall. The Harder They Fall was on Netflix. I don't know if I said that. Shang-Chi is now available on Disney Plus. And if you have not seen it, just watch the movie. Because this movie, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to read it. There's something majestic about this movie, and it's wildly entertaining to boot. It is beautifully shot, and the palettes are rich and vibrant. The costumes are wonderfully crafted, and to me, they also look functional. These are some costumes that actually look like we could put this together. You know, it looks functional. You could actually use this in some type of battle. They can move in it. It's not clunky. Um, and the acting was top notch. The performances make this world seem reach out and touch real. That is just how flippin' fantastic things looked as far as Shang-Chi went. Excuse me. Um, One of my favorite actresses as far as an action, and when we're thinking about action, and she got a movie coming out, and I wish I could think of the name of it right now off the top of my head. Um, is Michelle Yeoh. Gosh, I just love that woman. Let me tell you, and this is slight spoiler, just a very, very slight spoiler for Star Trek Discovery. There was a scene in today's episode, and it was a throwback. It was a flashback of Giorgio and Michael Burnham walking through Discovery. And I realized how much I missed that woman. Like tears was in my eyes because I miss her on that show. So I have really come to accept what Michelle Yeoh brings to this type of genre. And I love that lady. Now, everybody else's performance was spectacular too. She wasn't like the standout performance, but it just makes me appreciate and accept what she is, how important she is to the genre. I truly wish I could remember the name of that movie. Let me look this movie up because that's how important this is to me. I think I shared the trailer on after the snap hangout. But what is the name of that movie? Yeah, I can't. Okay, let's see. Everything, everywhere, all at once. And it's like a multiverse movie. Now, I made a list of movies that I really, really want to see, and I forgot to put that on the list. That is definitely on the list. The name of the movie, again, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. If you haven't seen the trailer, I do believe I put it on the After the Snap Hangout, but you can search for it. Look at that trailer and tell me that movie ain't about to be dope. But going back into Shang-Chi, because I got off, I went on a tangent. I can't wait for the sequel. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see where where our characters, Katie and all of them, where they end up, how they play into the greater MCU. I miss my whole mouth. How they play into the greater MCU This is something it felt good, and it was like putting some jumper cables. It put some jumper cables on the box office. This right here was the thing that started to swing around as far as people going to the movies. Of course, it wasn't the top movie of the year as far as the box office is concerned. But this right here, September 3rd, is where the box office started to see some resuscitation. And I was here for it. It was beautiful. Beautiful movie. Um, Reinhardt said Clarence Yahya Abdul Mateen II is also a young brother who's going to become one of the faces of Hollywood. Ooh, Cass said hot take. I'm on board with you on everything except the performances. Um, expound. Expound. Clarence said, I'm watching anything Michelle Yeoh was in. That movie looked good. This next movie she got coming out, that looks good. Reinhardt said, Michelle Yeoh, I've seen Shang-Chi about 8 times now, all the way through. Lysandra said, I really like his friend in the movie, and she loves her voice. Reinhardt said, anything with the multiverse, you know I'm watching, and Michelle Yeoh, no way I'm missing that. It looks so dope, and we get to see her uh play a character who has no it ain't about fighting. It looks like in the beginning, all she trying to be is somebody's nana and mother. She is not trying to be out here fighting and stuff. And it looked like things just something happens in the multiverse that kind of pulls her in. And I'm excited to see it. Cass said, yeah, it's great as always. Simu delivers great real life action, but none of the performances jumped off the screen and grabbed me personally. And let me think. The father, what is his name? Him. He was the standout to me. I forgot his name. Yeah, I can't. The Mandarin, the dude that played the Mandarin, Tony Leung. He his performance was what grabbed me. Of course, I love Michelle Yeoh. I think everybody was serviceable in their acting. Now, this is, of course, my opinion, and this is not. You can't take it to the bank. It's not worth much. Um, I thought I thought the performances were serviceable. The one person who I felt we could have done without is the one person that Lysandra loved the most in this movie, and that was Aquafina. I felt like her character was just a point of view character. There was really nothing else for her to do. She's just watching and being us in the midst of all this craziness. So yeah. Oh, oh, you said Yo is great as always. Gosh, glasses back on. I can't read. And I just noticed that I don't have my wind thing on my microphone. The freaking cats was in here. And they walk all across my desk like it's theirs. Okay, that's better. You said, boy, oh boy, Aquafina's character did not work for you at all, Cass. I, I, I mean, I just, she just was there to me. It's like certain things about her great on my nerves, but it wasn't. She didn't take me out of the movie. But I know what you mean. Definitely know what you mean. All right, top movie 2021. It don't take nobody. You don't have to be too bright. You say you didn't hate the movie. You don't. You're not coming across as you hated the movie. It was just like it wasn't. You know, it's just like Reinhardt said. The harder they fall wasn't for him. Um, Everything ain't for everybody. It's on. It's if it don't grab you, it just don't grab you. You know, nothing you can do about that. Last but not least, y'all know Spider-Man No Way Home was my top movie of 2021. Oh my goodness, this movie did so much in that 2.5 hours that we had with it. The movie accomplished so much. It was basically, and of course, spoilers. But this was basically the trilogy of the MCU for this Peter Parker was his origin story. We just got a longer, I guess, a longer experience with this Peter Parker in telling his origin. But the entire trilogy makes up his origin story, and I think that was a different way to go about it, and it worked for me. Spider-Man No Way Home was an emotional and fun homage to the character. It also closed out Tom Holland's Peter Parker arc in impeccable fashion, in my opinion. Many questions were answered, loose strings tied up, new developments that promise the characters will have room for continued growth. And sorry. In fact, this film will likely make fans rethink the entire trilogy, because as I sat there, I was like, no wonder they made the creative choices that they made, making him so reliant upon Iron Man in the original movie, and making him uh, stand up on his feet just a little bit more in Far From Home. And then, as far as he still had the Tony Stark tech, but now you have to kind of think on your feet with this Mysterio character. Then moving into No Way Home, you get the awkwardness of Peter Parker becoming the same kind of crutch that it would not crutch, the same kind of hindrance that it was becoming for those other Peter Parkers. The situation that they found themselves in was solely because Peter Parker is awkward, and yeah, I don't want to give away too much. Peter Parker is awkward. He had an awkward ass request that kind of blew up in his face, and then he started to again try to do things in such a way to mitigate the responsibility of Peter Parker for Spider-Man, and it turned him into a man in this installment of the movie. Uh, Reinhardt said, "Everywhere, all at once." Tasha, the lady who was playing Michelle Yeoh's daughter, was also in Shang-Chi. She was the school friend they were having drinks with, Stephanie Sue. Reinhardt said he loves some Aquafina. Clarence says, now it's officially Spider-Man. Yes, bearing the weight of keeping his loved ones safe, down to the fact that they destroyed the Iron Spider suit, all of that. And I know I'm still dropping spoilers. I apologize, but hell, it's 2 weeks now. Everybody else been talking about spoilers the next day. I didn't waited 2 weeks. Shoot. Yes. Now he's a man. He's a man. And now we're going to see him going to college. I don't know if he got into MIT. Looked like he had to take a GED test and stuff. There's a lot that was going on in the movie, but this movie turned Peter Parker into a man, and I was completely here for it. Completely here for it. Clarence says that Aquafina is growing on him. Good luck with that, Clarence. Good luck with that. Because I'm just not feeling her. There's another movie that she's about to be in, and I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, God, I hope that she does oh gosh, stretch. I hope she stretches her acting chops a little bit more the next time I see her. I'm not through. Right, Hart. You can tell me what's been going on. You can tell me. Let me see what I got next. Yeah, I've got some other stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna give you a moment, but you gotta make it quick, right, Hart. Make it quick. Tell me what's going on at the theater. As a matter of fact, while you are putting your comments in, because I'm gonna run to the washroom or something here. While you're putting your comments there, telling me what's going on at the theater, Reinhardt, I'm going to run and use the washroom. Okay, so get them all up there, and let me see who can I use? Who can I use? Who can I use? Okay, I'll be right back, y'all. I'm gonna go while he's putting his stuff on in the chat. No, dumb cat, come from out of there. Hey, take a break. I'm still on the thing. Okay, I'm back. You get everything in, Reinhardt? I hope so. You say you're gonna tell me what's been going on at the theater. Here we are. Oh, let's see. Spider-Man, no surprises, killing it. But when you actually see the droves of people out in out in, I don't know, Coben wouldn't. Okay, Spider-Man, no surprises, is killing it. But when you actually see the droves of people out in COVID, wasn't stopping none of these people from getting up in the theater. We have it in theaters out of 16. We have it in 4 theaters out of 16. Now, the late shows didn't sell out last night, but all the shows before that were nearly to capacity, period. So Spider-Man Far From Home is not done yet. No spoilers, but did you like Discovery this week, Clarence? Uh, okay, I didn't put none of those up there while I was reading it. I'm sorry. Clarence said, where is my let's all go to the lobby countdown timer? Oh gosh. Uh Reinhardt. Oh, Clarence said Reinhardt, I was like meh until the final scene. I had to watch this. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about it, I'm sure, a little bit more. But I I was confused, but I watched it twice, and there were certain things that confused me about this week of Discovery. The mid-season trailer looked really good for Discovery. Reinhardt's opinion, Clarence, you better not say exposition. Sometimes they got to talk a lot. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's go to the lobby and buy ourselves a Coke. I think that's what it was. But yeah, no surprises there. It's almost like Spider-Man Far From Home. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home right now is the only show in town. Now, I have heard that I wanted to see the Kingsman. I did not take any chances. So no Kingsman for me. Uh I've heard that everything else that has recently come out has been kind of lackluster, with the exception of West Side Story, which I'm hearing is fantastic, but people are not going out to see it. I thought that West Side Story would pick up a bit because this is a holiday weekend. Um, when we see the numbers, we I'll look at numbers and we'll see where things are landing. In fact, before I get into this next part, let me take a look at Box Office Mojo and just see. Uh, let's see what's going on because let's see. So Spider-Man No Way Home for Wednesday, December 29th, made another $20 million at the box office. Sing 2 made another $7.5 million. The Matrix Resurrection and The Kingsman are both at $1.2 million. An American Underdog, which is another movie I kind of wanted to see, is at 1.17. The latest weekend numbers were 84, damn near $85 million for Spider-Man No Way Home. Sing 2 came in second with $22.3 million. The Matrix Resurrections sadly had only $12 million, but if that's sad, the Kingsman only had $6 million. American Underdog also had 6. I'm kind of interested in American Underdog because even though I've kind of stopped watching football the way that I used to, I still would like to watch that Kurt Warner story. Cass said, I watched the first episode of Discovery today, and he doesn't like the main character, but you're going to continue. Um, if you don't like her, give it a couple more episodes. But if you don't like her, this ain't going to be a series that you're going to like because she is easily the center of this franchise, this part of the franchise. Reinhardt said American Underdog was getting a lot of business. That's, of course, the bio. We just went over that. uh, Cass said, who is West Side Story for? it could just possibly potentially be for the ego of Steven Spielberg. And I'm not saying ego in a bad way. Steven Spielberg has probably directed every single genre of movie. So this might just be to say, well, I got this I got this musical under my belt as well. And for all I've heard that it was beautifully shot and beautifully done. And I meant to go see it because what things happen, and here we are. Reinhardt said Sing 2 is doing a ton of family business. Encanto is doing very well. Also, a lot of families going to see it. Now, Encanto might slow down because it's available on Disney Plus now. A Journal for Jordan is doing very well. West Side Story is doing well, but it's mostly older. And I mean, I'm looking like these numbers is not saying doing well because now Sing 2 is doing well. Sing 2 is doing well. Totally, the total gross for Sing 2 domestic is $40 million roughly. Sing 2 is doing well. I think everything else is disappointing. The Matrix Resurrections at 22.5 total. The Kingsman is 9.5 total. American Underdog is less than $6 million total. West Side Story has been out for how many weeks now? 3 to 4 weeks. We're just getting to 24 million. These are not doing well to me. $2.2 million for A Journal for Jordan, but we've got time for that for them to build upon that. Encanto did absolutely phenomenally. $88 million at the box office total domestic. So yeah, the numbers are saying one thing, but I do believe that there is an audience for these people, and there's an audience for these movies, and it's just finding the audience in all of this noise, because there's a lot of noise right now. That Spider-Man was a lot of noise. It was a lot of noise. Reinhardt said mostly older audiences for that one. House of Gucci is still performing pretty strong. The surprise movie everybody was going to see last night was The Kingsman. I just gave you the numbers. Now, particularly, it could be the market that you're in as well, because obviously the numbers don't lie, but we could see areas where the movie is bigger in one area than it is in others. Nightmare Alley, that's one I want to see. He said there's a movie called Nightmare Alley. That one is I think that is the one with Bradley Cooper. It's a kind of a noir movie. I do want to see that one. I misspoke a couple of days ago about Nightmare Alley. I think I called it Licorice Pizza. Licorice Pizza is a different movie, but Nightmare Alley is the one that I kind of want to see. Cass said Spielberg has the right to make whatever he wants to at this point, but I do not see what audience is supposed to appeal to. Well, one of the things, like Reinhardt said, it's skewing older, but then you think about it, older people are hesitant about going into the movies. They just not trying to go. Encanto was a good movie. That was from D, and Lysandra has been singing its praises for days. So yes, she loved it. D says Sing 2. Did you go see Sing 2, D? Sing 2 is the number 2 thing at the box office right now. It's whooping on Matrix ass. It's whooping on the Kingsman's ass. Dreamwalker said, hey, Dreamwalker, I know there's a new Disney Plus movie out, when all of a sudden I see a bunch of people on my Twitter feed are talking about it. I'm not currently subbed though, so he'll see it eventually. Reinhardt said, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing from ground level, not talking about box of them to take what people are going to see. I haven't been in this environment in a while, and they always shocks me what are going to see. I'm not getting that one. Jimmy said, I want, Jimmy D said, I want Journey for Jordan. Looks like Journal for Jordan. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. The old people just want to watch the original. Oh gosh, the original. That's an old one though. Yeah, it was. If I'm gonna watch one, it's gonna be the Steven Spielberg one. And Jimmy said, "Why do I keep doing that? Because I'm reading exactly what's on my screen." Dee said that she and her husband are going to see Sing 2 tomorrow. So you'll let me know what you thought of that, because you know I ain't the animated feature chick. So now I told you the top 10. I'm not gonna bother you with 10 bad movies, because I don't think I saw 10 bad movies this year. But I am gonna give you the bottom 5. And it should come as no surprise to you guys. Some of the stuff that is on this list. Now, Intrusion it's supposed to be a psychological thriller. It is a Netflix movie, but it was very predictable. Very, very, very predictable. Like, you get to the point, and then things were happening that didn't need to happen. It was like, we're going to just throw a whole bunch of shit at the wall, see what sticks, and oh, you guys like that? Well, this is how we're going to end the movie. And you may feel a different way about it. I think my sister probably liked this movie. To me, meh. Reminiscence was so bad. Reminiscence was a movie that starred Hugh Jackman, and it was a noir kind of film as well. Lots of exposition, so much exposition. It was just crazy, just absolutely insane how much talking was done instead of showing us stuff. The movie, the movie just wasn't, it wasn't good. And I hate that, because I love Hugh Jackman. That's another person who I really, really love. And I guess I could be showing you the graphic. I really love Hugh Jackman, and I was really sorry that I didn't feel this movie. Now, so those Reminiscence was also, it came out in theaters and it came out on HBO Max at the same time. And I think I watched it on HBO Max. I would have been really pissed off if I would have saw that movie in theaters. I would have been really mad. Ghostbusters Afterlife has made my bottom 5 movies because I fell asleep. And sometimes I can fall asleep and want to oh shit, I want to go back and watch that because I missed out on this. I was just tired. I wasn't tired when I went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters Afterlife made me tired and made me go to sleep. Now I woke up in just enough time to see the ending, and then there was a lot of nostalgia, which we are seeing that nostalgia is a theme of this year. But this one was like, I'm gonna beat your ass with this nostalgia. You're gonna get I'm just gonna put this nostalgia all upside your head. And speaking of that, that's what The Matrix Resurrections did for me as well. Same thing. Bottom 5 for me. But The Matrix Resurrections, of course, came out on HBO Max and in theaters. Ghostbusters Afterlife was only in theaters. But Matrix Resurrection came out on theaters, or in theaters, and on HBO Max. I watched it on HBO Max. I don't know if it would have hit different if I would have gone to the theaters to see it. This movie was not good. And Angus and I were talking. Was that? Yes, it was Angus. It was definitely Angus. And he was saying that he believed that Warner Brothers had to put out a movie or they lose the rights to that IP. And this makes sense, that we're just going to put something out just so we can retain the rights for the intellectual property. So that would explain why Lana Wachowski made so many digs at WB in the movie, because she's kind of been forced. Her hand was forced to make the movie. They were going to make it with or without her. So there, to me, kind of gives me reasons why this movie was not what it could have been, and that's because you had a bunch of reluctant people working on it, and the studio was really just looking out, just in case we come up with a really good idea for it later, we'll be able to still make it. We will not lose the IP. That all makes sense to me, and I'm glad that he brought that to my attention. Um, Let me see. Cass said, I finally saw Resurrections. I didn't hate it as much as most people did, but still, yikes. Yeah, Dreamwalker said, as a kid, I watched the X-Men cartoons and didn't really like Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman was a good actor, and I liked the character more in the movies. Logan, a few years ago, was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Dreamwalker said, one day when we have time, we'll talk about the Wolverine character. They could do a documentary just about that character itself, and all that's transpired. So yeah. So there are the bottom four, but then there's only one dumpster fire this year. Only one. And do you have to ask? Dumpster fire. Karen. Karen was the absolute worst movie that I saw this year. I don't know what movies everybody else saw. This right here was really bad. Really, really bad. What and he said Reinhardt said that. Yes, Karen was terrible. You said, what in the world is Karen? Well, you know how in pop culture lexicon, we've come to talk and speak about like the entitled white woman as Karen. So that's who this is. She's supposed to be the physical embodiment of every Karen in the world. And she is like, she wages a little mini war against this black black couple who move in next door to her. And when you start talking about we're just riding a wave of popularity. This is something that's popular. People are calling people Karens. We're going to make this movie. We're going to make her the most Karenest Karen of the whole world in the entire universe. This is the alpha Karen. And the movie just didn't make sense. It was they made her mustache twirling first and foremost. So if you've ever run into a person who fits what a lot of people call a Karen, if you've ever run into one in the wild, you know that there are nuances to those people. They're not standing there just twirling their mustache the whole time, waiting to pounce on a black person. A lot of times they think that they're doing the right thing. And then we're catching them in a situation where somebody's got a camera on them and they think they're doing the right thing. And I'm not making any excuses for them. It is what it is. Oh, the definition does fit people like that. But this movie was so freaking over the top with it that it was almost like a satire. It was almost a satire. Jimmy, there we go again. D said, I was going to watch Karen, but there was a fee to watch it. Nope. So, yeah, Lysandra said the same thing. Yeah, I paid $4.99 to watch, or $5 or something. Whatever I paid on Amazon Prime to watch this movie, they should give me probably 4 times that back for giving them my time. This movie was really bad. It really, it's the only bona fide dumpster fire that I have watched this year. I watched a lot of movies this year. This was terrible. You said that is the movie? Yikes. Yes. And I'm telling you, it's far worse than what I've just sat here and described. It is absolutely just complete and total utter garbage. So that's the bottom 5. Now, D said, who asked me to review the movie? Angus Osano. He wanted to know if there were a lot of people saying a lot of bad things about the movie, and he wanted to know if it was warranted or if it was just people being eh. And those, it was warranted. It was 100% earned how bad that movie was. The guy who directed it, and I think he wrote some of it, was Coke Daniels, and I'm like, yeah, he had to be on Coke because that's how bad that movie was. So now, my 2022 most anticipated movies for the next year. Now, I don't know. I don't think I've got this in any particular order, but the ones that are highlighted in yellow are the ones that I'm like super duper excited about. The other ones, I'm excited. You can go ahead and add Everything Everywhere Always, or whatever the name of that movie was that we were talking about with Michelle Yeoh. We can go ahead and throw that on this list as well. But just quickly, gonna go through this list. Oh shoot. Um, Dreamwalker said, so you actually keep a list of movies you're watching year round? Let me tell you, doing this, once I started uh doing the movie reviews and stuff, I have a calendar of what movies are coming out. So I just looked at my calendar for maybe even I didn't even look for the entire year, but I look at my calendar and see definitely like where I'm going to go to the movies and all of that. John Wick is not coming out this year no more. They moved that date. Uh, they moved it, and then don't that just piss you off? They moved John Wick. Let me see when John Wick 4 is coming out now. They wanted to scoot it away from one of those Tom Cruise movies that was coming out at the same time they had scheduled for John Wick 4 to come out. So it was supposed to come out May 27th, 2022, but it would have gone up against one of those Tom Cruise movies. So now it has moved to March of 2023. So here we go. Here we go. We got to wait. We got to wait. You guys are talking about the calendar. Dee says she's sad about this John Wick not coming out in 2022. Yeah, no, we just got to wait a little longer. But let's go. First movie that I'm waiting for, Wakanda Forever. And there is a couple of reasons. Of course, I've been anticipating the sequel since we saw the original. So there's that. But the second thing is there has been so many problems plaguing this production that I'm like, oh God, I hope it's not a dumpster fire. You know what I mean? I hope I hope it doesn't turn into a dumpster fire. So now I'm just curious of how they're going to pull everything together, given as many issues that we have seen with the production of this movie. Wakanda Forever is set to come out November 11th, 2022. And gosh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. My nose is itchy. I don't know. Sandra said Star Wars gone mad. Reinhardt said, I'm looking out for, we'll get to that. Uh, and Dreamwalker said, yeah, I hope it's good. My second most anticipated movie of the year is The Batman. And by the way, new trailer, The Cat in the Bat. Did you guys watch the trailer? If not, of course, it's available on the After the Snap Hangout. But the trailers for this movie have been knocking it out of the park for me. I think the trailers are doing quite a bit to build interest and to tell us what kind of story to expect and what kind of Batman this is. So, um, Robert Pattinson, whole different dude with a whole different take. This is supposed to be Batman early in his career. We have seen the Penguin, we have seen Catwoman, we have seen the Riddler. There has been rumors that we will see some of the Joker. That's just a rumor right now, so don't take that to the bank. But I am truly anticipating this movie. This one comes out in March. I mean, pull my dates because I don't want to I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, March 4th, 2022. So the Batman. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Um, next, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Um, that is one. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, especially after that trailer at the end of Spider-Man: No Way Home. That it's now been released widely for everyone. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is promising to be a trippy, psychedelic type of ride, kind of like the first one was. Supposed to be just visually everything. And there was even like that one part that kind of looked like Doctor Who. It kind of looked like the TARDIS floating out into space. It was Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. You know who I love? I love him. So Benedict Cumberbatch is standing in the doorway, and you see this door floating out into space, and it just reminded me of Doctor Who for some reason. Uh, Reinhardt said, "I'm looking out for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What I'm telling people, don't sleep on Thor: Love and Thunder. We're gonna see. I mean, you that's on your list of must watch movies. I don't think it made mine. I'm not looking forward to that one as much as there are some other movies that I'm looking forward to. Uh, he says also that Wakanda Forever is definitely a movie you can't wait for, but you're also sad thinking about Chadwick. Yeah, and it's more or less like, okay, how are we moving forward from here? So yeah. And Dreamwalker said, as a Christopher Nolan fan, I fear no Batman movie will appeal to me as much as his did. I loved the Nolan trilogy. I absolutely thought that those, well, at least the the Dark Knight, at least the Dark Knight to me was one of the, I want to say one of the greatest comic book movies, point blank period. There have been, and I'm talking not an event film, just a regular run of the mill comic book movie, not one of these big ass event films. The Dark Knight was near perfection to me. I really and truly love that movie. Killers of the Flower Moon is another movie that I'm looking forward to. Let me make sure. Um, Killers of the Flower Moon is, it's about, okay, it's about like towards the beginning of the FBI and these Osage murders. And the Osage is like a tribe of Native Americans, and they were pretty much they were preyed upon by certain groups. And the magazine, let me see, the movie. I'm trying to find a movie though. I want to know when this movie come out. Yeah. So member of the Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances. And of course, in the 1920s, and it was sparking an FBI investigation involving, and he shows up again this week, J. Edgar Hoover. Now, I don't like J. Edgar Hoover, but this is a movie that is directed by Martin Scorsese. It's going to be a Leo DiCaprio movie with Jesse Plemons and Robert De Niro. I think this, well, because of course I got a strong love for like those kind of true crime stories and that kind of thing. This is like tying that into cinema because Martin Scorsese is making it, so it has to be cinema. I'm not holding that against Martin. He has lived long enough to have a right to his opinion, and I give him his opinion. But this is a piece of cinema I do want to see. The Killers of the Flower Moon. Uh, Reinhardt said, "Thank you for that, Tasha, because in the wave of Marvel's dominance, everybody seems to have forgotten about that movie, The Dark Knight, which dominated and still to this day is in my top 3." Dreamwalker said, I don't know if I've ever heard about that Flower Moon movie. I think we should be keeping our eye on it. Let me give you guys when it's coming out. I don't think I did. Oh, it's in post production. It'll be out in 2022 though. So that is a movie. Uh, right now, I'm saying I'm very interested in uh, seeing that story told. Uncharted. I want to see Uncharted. Only if only because I want to see Tom Holland doing something else. And I know that there were a few movies that came out this year with Tom Holland doing other things, but in this thing he's doing it with Mark Wahlberg, and how can you go wrong? You got two. uh I guess they're capable of giving you an action experience. They ain't, right now, like Mark Wahlberg, you know his name when you hear it. I wouldn't call him a Hollywood elite right now, but I will say that you know Mark Wahlberg when you hear it. And I want to see what they do together. The trailers look good to me. I never played the video game, but then I have heard that a lot of stuff that happened in the trailer is stuff that's pulled straight from the video game. So February 18th, 2022, we're gonna see. I'm gonna be there. I hope. I don't want to be too presumptuous. The Flash. And yeah, Thor Love and Thunder did not make my most anticipated. It's a movie I want to see, but it's not one of my most anticipated movies. But because we've been waiting on this Flash movie for some time, the little first look, little, what do you call it? The teaser trailer that we got at DC fandom, it kind of made me interested in seeing what else is going to happen. We got uh, Ben Affleck returning. He's going to be Batman again in here, and we also have Michael Keaton returning, and he's going to be Batman in here. So, and of course, we have what is this kid's name? Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is going to be returning as the Flash. I want to see what they do, how they pull this thing together, how they make their little multiverse. This Flashpoint story is what it looks like they're telling, and I only hate for them, and I'm saying this because as much as I love Marvel and the MCU and the way that they've been doing things, the way that they have been churning out good movie after good movie after good movie, um, there there are titles that DC can do, and if done well, will blow anything out the water that we have seen from the MCU. So I said that. The question is, are they going to uh, get the director who has a vision, who has who knows these characters, knows these stories, kind of like James Gunn, but the Suicide Squad movie didn't resonate, and that's simply because people are playing the DC versus Marvel, Snyder versus anybody else, that type of stuff, Ayers versus this person. So that fandom is a fucking wreck, because if you want more of something, you have to support it. You have to at least give it an opportunity, and you can't give it an opportunity in pirating, because nobody has a way of knowing who watched that pirated movie. Now, if you're really a fan of DC, it's going to behoove you to support the Batman movie and to support the Flash movie, because there are some titles in the back catalog of DC Comics that uh, that could prove to be some of the biggest event films of this decade if they were to get it right. So, and I stand behind that. I literally stand behind the fact that if they had a visionary over at Warner that is specifically trying to build their DC catalog, their DCEU, if they had a person like that over there and they trusted them and they gave them the keys to the kingdom, and they have a vision that can span more than just this movie. Okay, this movie did well, let's make another one like that. No, have a plan. Make sure that you're making good movies. If they had somebody like that, some of those stories are just waiting to be told. Some of the Hawk guy, Hawk girl, Hawk man, Hawk girl, when we could, if they were to make like a Guardians of the Galaxy type movie with those characters, do you understand the money that these fools are leaving on the table instead of continually regurgitating the same characters over and over? I am going on a rant. That's not what I intended to do. But I just want to see, I really do want to see them use all of the catalogs that they have. Dreamwalker said, I tried playing the Uncharted video game once, the second one, and didn't get into it. But you have a lot of friends who love it. I had never even heard of these video games until I heard of the movie. Then I had to, start looking like, oh, it's based on a video game. So hopefully, because I haven't heard of or understand the story behind the video game, that it doesn't lose me. The Sandman. Now, the Sandman is one that is coming on Netflix. And speaking of a DC property, this right here is a DC property. It's by Neil Gaiman, and Neil Gaiman had a whole comic book graphic comic. Why is this piece of hair bothering me like this? Had a whole graphic comic series about the Sandman. There was also very recently on Audible, I guess, an audiobook version of the Sandman that you could just listen to and take in this world. But I am super excited to see how they transition the Sandman from, and I'm trying to think now, is the Sandman, is this a series? I think it is too. This wasn't supposed to be on this list, I don't think. But yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I think I do have series on here as well. Sorry, y'all. But I can't wait to see what they do with this. And of course, Netflix does not give us a date. It's coming on Netflix. They don't give us a date. It's just coming in 2022. I'm excited for it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Y'all already know. That first one was so fantastic. I'm ready to watch the second one. I'm ready to get into what else is going to happen with Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy. You add an Issa Rae as Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, and who else now? Oh, and Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. So this, and it promises to be a 2-part movie. So this first part, who knows, but we know we're getting a second part to this movie. So yeah, that's another movie. Yeah, you like the first one too, Dreamwalker. Yeah, that was arguably one of the best Spider-Man movies. Arguably the best. And I'm saying that even after seeing No Way Home. I still think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is still like such a wonderful take on the character, even though it was Miles Morales and not Peter Parker. Avatar 2. We've been being threatened with this movie, Avatar 2, forever and ever and ever. And James Cameron was like, oh, now's the time. It's time. These people are ready to go back and see the rest of this movie. So let me go ahead and put out the second part for them. It's been so long in the making. And it's still a little long because we got all the way up until this time next year before it'll be out. December 16th, 2022. Michelle Yeoh again. You see a theme? Kate Winslet, Zoe Saldana, And then here's the synopsis for what this movie is supposed to be about when we get to it. Jake Sully lives with his newfound family formed on the planet of Pandora. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what was previously started, Jake must work with Natiri and the army of the Navi race to protect their planet. So, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Um, Lightyear, one animated feature. Well, no, it's the second one. This is the second animated feature. But Lightyear is the origin story of Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. And now I am one who if it was a movie that I watched with my nephews or my son and it was like the animated stuff, I'm more prone to see what else they have in that universe than I am to just go and start a universe now. Like going to see, for instance, the Sing movies, the two Sing movies. I don't have no little people, so I haven't seen the movie. And right now, because I don't have any connection to it, I don't have no my anticipation levels for that movie wasn't that high because that's the way I process, I guess, animated features. But once you start talking about the stuff that you took your kids to see, took my son, my nephews, or we would sit down and watch together. If it was something that started with them, I am more likely to get sucked into seeing those sequels. And Lightyear is one of those sequels. And Chris Evans Chris Evans is going to be voicing the human Buzz Lightyear. That one is coming out just around right around Father's Day, 2022, June 17th. So hopefully, hopefully that movie is worth my anticipation. Let me catch up some of these comments from Dreamwalker. I got so annoyed when Avatar came out because this username started being much harder to claim. When the most popular movies in the world says Dreamwalker. He also goes on. I didn't realize Buzz needed an origin story, but I was really into Toy Story as a kid. I got those toys from Burger King. So yeah, you guys, you're in the same age range as my son. So yeah, but what it is, it's actually telling the story of the person that Buzz Lightyear was crafted after. So this was a real astronaut, and his name was Buzz. I guess his name was Buzz Lightyear. But yeah, the trailer really looked good for this. It really did, and I am excited to see what happens with that with Lightyear. With Lightyear. And Dreamwalker also said, and there was an old video game for it that was fun and annoying. Uh, for for which one? For Toy Story or for Avatar? Clarify. Reinhardt also said he thinks that Lightyear kind of looks cool. Buzz Aldrin. So he's not playing Buzz Aldrin. It's a character Buzz Lightyear in the toy in the movie was based on. So that astronaut is Buzz Lightyear. But of course, we know that Buzz Aldrin is probably who Buzz Lightyear. So it's like that was so many levels of meta. That was you just keep going. Buzz Aldrin inspired them to create Buzz Lightyear, which inspired some toy creator in the Toy Story universe to create the Buzz Lightyear toy. Those layers. There's layers for that. And then video game for Toy Story. Oh, okay. You said it was fun and annoying. That's most video games, ain't it? The Black Phone is on my list of most anticipated movies for the year. It's kind of it promises to be a creepy fair. I'm trying to pull up. We got Ethan Hawke in it, and Madeline. What's her last name? Madeline McGraw Jeremy Davies. It is directed by Scott Derrickson, and that kind of hopped out at me from the now where who is Scott Derrickson? Scott Derrickson gave us is it Doctor Strange? The original Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange movie. So yeah. Um but yeah, that one is coming out. Where's the date? Where's the date? Oh, you know what? I guess it's not giving me the date. Well, that sucks because it says 2021 and we know things happened in 2021. But the synopsis for the movie is after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. This looks so good. I saw it the trailer several times because you go into the movies, you're gonna keep seeing the same. Uh, you're gonna keep seeing the same trailers over and over and over again. But uh, but yeah, that trailer to me, the first time I watched it, didn't hit me. Then I saw it again, and I was like, wow, that really looks good. Ryan, Reinhardt said, I'm not even that excited about the Flash movie. I hope I get excited, but I have waited almost 6 years for that movie to finally get here. Well, just think how long we've been waiting for that Black Adam movie. We've been waiting for Black Adam for a long time. But guess what? He on my list. We've been waiting for Black Adam for at least, has it been 8 years that they've been talking about this? 8 years that they've been talking about Black Adam. And we're finally going to get the movie as soon as I give you the date. And it's coming soon. You know that's a Dwayne Johnson. He's playing Black Adam. He really looks good. He really looks good as a Black Adam. It's expected in July 2022, July 29th or so. Um, we don't even know the plot of this movie. We've seen is a little snippet of Black Adam manhandling somebody in a teaser trailer or a teaser, first look teaser. When we saw that, it piqued my interest a little bit more. Now I need to see some doggone footage from this movie. I need to see a trailer. I need to see something because stop keeping everything a secret over here, DC. Stop. We need to see something to keep that excitement level up, to bring the excitement level up even more amongst people who are on the fence about whether they're going to go see this movie. Um, Now, what was I going to say about Black Adam? Also, me going back to us talking about Batman, the Nolan films, and that kind of thing. DC got a catalog outside of this world. We're finally seeing them pull out some characters that's not Superman or Batman or of late Wonder Woman. Uh, y'all got some bangers. You better use them. Better use them. And Black Adam, I hope, ties into that Shazam universe, and it's that it is worth the wait because we've waited a while, right? Dreamwalker said, I haven't been to the theater in nearly 2 years, so not many trailers, but I'm taking notes from you. If you want to see the trailers, as a matter of fact, because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go about next year, uh, and what I'm going to change and how I do want to do more trailer reactions. They're shorter reactions, and for people who don't just keep running back and forth to the movie or that's not always connected because right now I'm always connected. I'm not working anywhere else. I'm always connected. So I'll see a trailer and maybe do a reaction to it and do the reactions so that you don't have to go to the movies to get a general idea of what's coming to see if it's something that might bring you into the movies. So yeah, just let me know if you're interested in those kinds of things because I do need to switch things up. It's a lot of stuff. I'm doing what I accuse Warner Brothers of doing. I'm throwing shit at the wall, trying to see what sticks, and I'm having a hard time finding like a place in on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever. I want my audience to grow, and I need to hear from you guys what you guys think would work given my personality type. So we're not going to just, I'm not going to become that person who puts on a whole act to sit out here and talk to y'all. But if it's something within my personality type that you could see me doing, let me know so that I can maybe put that into practice. Um Said, "Uh-oh, job situation not working out for you." Well, I mean, I I'm not making enough money to live off of. If that's the question, like as far as YouTube is concerned, and as far as going to work, I've got issues, and um, some of the issues are I guess are just me being in my head too much, my own head, just thinking that the reverberations of my own thoughts will drive me insane. So there's that. And a part of me says, I want to keep trying at what I'm doing because I enjoy doing it. But just because I enjoy doing it doesn't mean people enjoy watching it. So if there is something different that you guys would enjoy watching as an audience, I'm all ears. Oh, wait a minute. I can't. I don't get this one, Reinhardt. Tasha, I'm using your 2022 list of stuff that I'm buying on my stock trailer game right now. I don't know what no stock trailer game is. I've never heard of that. Expound. No, um, my top 10 series for 2021 for this year that just passed. Top 10 series of 2021. Man, this is in no particular order, but then it might be because it was the way that I thought about them. So I was like, oh yeah, this goes on the list. Oh yeah, this goes on the list. Um, The Wheel of Time was one of my favorite series of 2021. In fact, it was my favorite series of 2021. And of course, it's easy to say that because WandaVision was way back at the beginning of the year, and I forgot how I felt watching WandaVision. I did love it. It's on the list. That's why I'm saying it may or may not be in order. Um, so Wheel of Time, WandaVision, Loki was fantastic. The Mandalorian, absolutely fantastic. Star Trek Prodigy, the first half of the season, I went ahead and put it on the list. It was it has left me looking forward to this next 5 episodes, even though that means we have to take a break from Star Trek Discovery. At least we can fill that void with Star Trek Prodigy. Then the What If series on Disney Plus, fantastic, um, fantastic. The, the implications that the stuff that they showed us in What If, the implications that that stuff can have on the greater MCU if they were to decide to pull something from it, that was good to me. Invincible was I actually think Invincible was better than What If. So if this list were in order, these two would be swapped. Invincible was a good graphic. It was like watching The Boys animated. That's how beautiful that cartoon was, and um, I can't wait to see season 2. I cannot wait. The Falcon and the Winter Soldiers on my list. Harlem made the list, and this was surprise. Woo! I bet you didn't know that that you were going to get sucked into this series, and yes, it was a pleasant surprise. I really did like it. Hawkeye, if I were to have this stuff in order, Hawkeye is falling as the 10th top series of 2021, but it made the list. and I saw a few other series. I didn't kill myself with series this year. There are far too many of them. But of these that I watched, these that made the list were so good. There were a couple that I did not, Titans being one of them. Oh, thank you, Dreamwalker. Hopefully you'll check out some of these movies and let me know what you thought of them. Reinhardt said, it's a game that's been out for years. That's where you go online and you trade and sell movie stocks. It's not a fast-paced game, but you use actual information. Like, I bought stock. It's on Prime. Oh, wait, you said it's an online. You bought stocks. It's an online game. Has been around for years and years. Oh, you said that. You did it twice. You bought stock in the Batman movie 3 years ago. Oh, okay. When it was just in its concept stage. Okay. Okay. So is it like, is it money, real money involved in it? Is that what this is? And then yeah, that's my last slide, y'all. Happy Happy New Year, super friends. And you ain't gonna see me. You're not gonna see me tomorrow or Saturday. No weekly wrap up. Oh, okay, Reinhardt. No weekly wrap up, no film review Friday. I think I am going to record a review like I did for Matrix Resurrections. I'm gonna record a review for Don't Look Up. I really like that movie. And I had to sit here and think. I guess if there were an honorable mention on my top 10 movie list, Don't Look Up would be there. Don't Look Up would be there. Um, Don't Look Up, without going too far into it, will make you wonder if they will make you wonder what we can do to keep that from being us. Because oh my gosh. And I'll talk about it more when I do my review. But I did like it. I did like it. What else was I going to say? So yeah, no film review Friday like that though. It's going to be a pre-recorded bit, and then no weekly wrap up. I'll be back for Stream Something Sunday, and guess what? That's going to also be my birthday. So yes, we're going to talk about this last episode for before the mid-season hiatus of the Discovery. Gosh, lost my train of thought. And we're also going to be discussing the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And I don't know. You know, we only got 2 series right now: the Book of Boba Fett, and then something Star Trek. It'll be Star Trek Discovery this first week, but then Star Trek Prodigy next week. So I'm like, I got to find another series before Peacemaker. Peacekeeper. Peacemaker. I never remember his name. Peacemaker, I think. Peacemaker is January 13th. So maybe I'll just hold on until January 13th, and that'll be our third show. Or maybe I'll take you guys up on one of your suggestions if it's a streaming service, if it's available on a streaming service that I already have. I can't get no new streaming services. I just can't afford it. I can't afford the ones that I got. Dreamwalker said, I had some friends love Don't Look Up, and one said he was disappointed in it. D said that she watched Don't Look Up, and Dreamwalker said, I'll see it sometime soon, probably. It's there for you on Netflix whenever you feel like it. Oh, and thank you so much. Happy New Year, happy birthday. Yes, I'm going to be spending my birthday with y'all, but my Happy New Year is going to be probably me and Euphoria. Is that what I said I was going to try to watch? Or Watchmen? I didn't lie to y'all because I told my son I'm going to watch I'm gonna watch Euphoria too. So I gotta watch both of them somehow, some way. So yeah. And then moving forward, I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna switch things up, because if you know, there is like every time we do an episode, we get one more new person, but I need to see a little more growth, or I feel like, dang, for 6 months I've been doing this for basically a little core group of friends now that we've become friends. Of course, Dee and Lysandra have been around me forever, but then the rest of you have become my friends online. I come to expect to see you, and I'm happy when I see you. I miss you when you're not here, but we need to grow this audience. And it's just hmm, it's just how. So I'm like, am I doing too many shows? Because if I am, I can definitely pull back because should I just do two or three and just put everything I got into just complete and total quality? Or if you got a suggestion, something that you've seen another creator do, we're not gonna copy them beat for beat. But if you've seen somebody else do something with some success, let me know, and maybe we can put our own spin on it. And we'll work. It's a work in progress, but I appreciate all of you for being here. Oh yeah, well yeah, D, that works too. And it's not just you all. I've got to get better with social media. That was one of my goals, is to get better with social media to build a footprint. But if you all could share, or even just like commenting, sharing, all of those things will promote the show more, and YouTube will put it in front of more people. But yeah, we spoke on a few things a couple weeks ago, and that is, but then I send out little feelers like, should I do this, should I do that? I only get one response now. And I've got a group of 60 people, and I know all 60 people ain't paying attention all the time. That's just the way subscriptions go. But yeah, I just want to know, like, what direction should I take the show, and or are you guys just satisfied with the way things are right now? Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I'm gonna keep doing this because, like I said, I have made friends who I never want to lose contact with. I've made friends who I've come to respect the fact that they have an opinion, and they give it to me just like I give it. You know what I mean? I like that. Everybody ain't gonna agree on everything all the time, and I don't mind you not agreeing with me. I just want to see. I just want to see if we can get growth, because like I said, I enjoy interacting with you guys, and y'all, the ones that's been with me: Angus, Osano, Dreamwalker, Reinhardt's been around for a while, Clarence has been around from the inception of this thing, uh D and Lysandra, you guys, along with my patrons. I've got patrons that just believe in me. They're not particularly fans of what I do. They just believe in me, and they have been patronizing this show for the better part of 2 years. But been patronizing me for the better part of 2 years, and I'm like, God. Some people say, you don't have any numbers and blah blah blah, but man, the people I got have been so loyal. Stacy Howard, who I haven't seen in a little while. I wonder how she's doing. But yeah, there are a group of people who I come to call friends. Dreamwalker says super short videos to get the algorithm to recommend you, and then maybe you can direct people to your other videos. And ooh, rating 21 movies from 2021 in 21 seconds. Just a random idea. That is, do you know, I can't even talk to y'all without stumbling over my words. Gosh. Okay, ranking 21 movies from 2021 in 21 seconds. I think I might try to do that. I might try to do it. Okay. And I don't know. I don't know if I can talk that fast. But I'm gonna try it. But yeah, I've got that on my board. I got a whiteboard, and on my whiteboard is like right in the middle of it. I wrote in real big letters, just do something different. And then I had some difference that I could do. And one of them was to create more shorts, to do a short uh for something. 5 shorts a week is what I was saying. 5 shorts a week. Yeah, the editing, God, that's the tricky part. But I try. I'm gonna try harder. I'm trying to. I've got that Skillshare because I got suckered into to subscribing to that. But I got Skillshare, and they do have some courses about how to use a different video editor. There's an editor that I use that's very, very easy. But then there's a different editor that has a little bit more complex, but then you have the ability to do more things within that editor. That's what I'm trying to learn. Dreamwalker said thumbs up, smile, strong head shake. Oh, strong head shake. No. Okay. I got you. Uh Reinhardt said, I love talking to all you guys, but I've been on several channels from almost the beginning period, and a lot of them do what someone just said they do. Shorter videos to get the algorithm to uh pick up things. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Shorter videos to get the algorithm to recognize you. Uh pick I'm lost. Take things take up a lot of time, and I notice quite a few as their channels get bigger, they don't stream as much, period, which makes me sad, but I know they're busy. But shoot, that's why a part of me and look, I'm and I know I ain't trying to hold y'all here all night because I could talk. Um Part of me thinks I think that I come off more authentic live than I do when I have recorded and scripted something kind of. And it's because I start to rely too heavily on the script. It's like I know a lot of stuff just right off the top of my head. But if I write it down, I feel like for some reason that I have to read that. And then I come across as reading. I feel like I flow better live. But if I have to put out some videos and try to just relax a little bit, then if I have to put out some videos, I will. I will. But it's just I gotta get relaxed. I can't just be sitting there reading. You know what I mean? I think Reinhardt might have called me out on one of those things. Oh gosh. Dreamwalker said, "It's okay. You're not holding me. I'm eating dinner meanwhile. Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat dinner meanwhile in a second." Oh gosh. But yeah, well, I don't even know if I could call it dinner. Because I've been staying up all night and sleeping half the day. So really, I woke up at like 4 something this afternoon. Yep, because I didn't go to bed till like 11 this morning, 11 o'clock this morning. And I woke up at 4 in the afternoon. So whatever meal I have is probably going to be breakfast for me because it's starting to seem like um I'm on night shift. My body believes that I'm working overnight somewhere, so I do get things done. But anywho, I'm not trying to hold you guys. It has been fun, as usual. By the way, as usual. So be safe. If and I hope that if you are doing something for New Year's, number one, just personal safety is paramount. Please, please, please mask up. Even if you're vaccinated, I don't want you to get sick. Be safe. There's crazy folks out there who are looking for people who are having fun so that they can yuck on their yum and do something stupid. So be vigilant if you're going out there. If you're not going out there, you know, watch a Twilight Zone marathon or something. Do something fun, something that you like, or catch up on, have a movie marathon, something of that nature. Be safe, y'all, because I will show hate for anything. For any faces to be missing from my little round table. I appreciate everybody for supporting me this year. Gosh, you guys have been so fantastic. And I'm not just saying it. There have been times where I needed to be picked up and y'all was here. And that's what friends do. So I really and truly appreciate it. I hope that we can continue to build on our friendship next year, moving into 2022 and beyond and beyond, infinity and beyond. uh Everybody is, let me see. Oh, Dreamwalker said, what happened to that conspiracy channel I was doing? Are you still doing it? I haven't done it in a long time. And it's because it's like, okay, pick one, Tasha. Which one are you about to pour yourself into for real? So it was this one first, because this is one that it does take some planning and some knowledge, but it don't feel like work. So that other one started to feel heavy and worky. But I'm working out a way that I can try to tie all that stuff together. Marry things. Happy New Year, D. She said Happy New Year to everyone. I don't know. Reinhardt had steak and sushi a little while ago. Oh, I never had no sushi in my life. My son loves it. I won't even try it. Lysandra says, Happy New Year's to everyone. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Please, please be safe. That means if safe means staying at home, just stay your ass at home. Reinhardt said, Happy New Year to everyone. I know this year has been another kind of dark year, but it's been a little brighter that I've got to meet some new people on here. Oh, you guys are so flippin' sweet. You guys are so fantastic. So yeah, I'll see you guys in 2022. Unless you're gonna watch that video, that one video I'm gonna do for Don't Look Up. If you don't watch that video, I'll see you in 2022. Remember though, on Sundays, Stream Something is going to 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 o'clock Central Time. So Stream Something is going later in the day because I'm working nights now. So with all that being said, Happy New Year. Love you. And you guys have a happy and safe New Year. Peace.